Did you know that according to multiple global security reports, over 90 million people could die within the first 45 minutes of a modern war between world powers? And the world still wouldn't understand what happened. And what if I told you that by tomorrow morning, billions could already be dead, and you wouldn't even know why? No emergency broadcasts, no final warning. Just a sudden, unnatural silence swallowing the entire planet. Scientists have a name for this moment. A point of no return. A point where civilization collapses before anyone has time to react. Experts across NATO, the UN, and major military think tanks now agree on one terrifying truth. If World War III begins, the first hour won't just decide who wins. It will decide whether humanity survives at all. Because in those first 60 minutes, hypersonic missiles traveling 10 times faster than sound could attack without even appearing on radar. Silent nuclear submarines deep in the oceans could launch strikes that are impossible to trace. Entire cities could disappear so quickly, people would die before they even realized they were in danger. Stay until the end, because you're about to learn the real trigger that could start the next world war. The hidden weapons designed to end it in minutes, and the one choice that might save your life. If everything begins before sunrise tomorrow. In the Pacific, Chinese destroyers follow American warships near Taiwan every single day. Their radar systems lock onto each other. Pilots sit tense in their cockpits waiting for orders. One small mistake, one accidental collision, could set off a chain reaction of missiles across half the world. In Eastern Europe, Russian and NATO forces face each other from just 150 kilometers apart. The US has quietly placed B-61 tactical nuclear bombs in Germany, Belgium, and Italy. Russia has stationed Iskander-M nuclear-capable missiles in Kaliningrad, aimed straight at Europe's capitals. Every country says it's only for defense, but the truth is far scarier. Everyone is already standing on the trigger. Military experts fear one thing more than anything else. If a global war starts, the side that strikes first gets an advantage, but only for 20 minutes. After that, retaliation begins, and nothing can stop it. In those critical minutes, the most advanced and deadly weapons ever built would be unleashed. American B-2 Spirit and the new B-21 Raider stealth bombers would lift off in complete radio silence, gliding through the night sky, invisible to radar, armed with Jassimer cruise missiles capable of hitting targets 900 kilometers away. Russia's Tu-160 White Swan bombers would respond with Kh-102 nuclear missiles, flying low and striking without warning. From the depths of the oceans, U.S. submarines would fire Tomahawk Block 5 missiles, each one able to strike targets over 1,600 kilometers away with deadly precision. And above all this chaos come the fastest killers ever created, hypersonic missiles. Russia's Kinzhal, China's DF-17, America's AGM-183 ARW. Traveling at Mach 10, 10 times the speed of sound. These weapons leave no time to react. By the time radar detects them, the target is already gone. The horrifying truth? Phase 1 of World War III could be over before anyone even realizes it has begun. Missiles start falling from the sky. Command centers are destroyed in seconds. Airfields erupt into massive walls of fire, sending smoke and flames high above. The U.S. scrambles F-35 and F-22 fighter jets, racing to destroy enemy planes before they even leave the runway. Across Europe, NATO sends Eurofighter Typhoons into the skies. From Russian bases, Su-57 stealth fighters take off, ready for deadly dogfights. The fighting spreads over the Baltic Sea, the Black Sea, and the Pacific Ocean. Jets clash, missiles streak across the sky, and fire spreads uncontrollably. It's a chaotic storm of destruction, fast, unpredictable, and terrifying. And on the oceans, an entirely different war begins. The U.S. Navy's carrier strike groups, led by the USS Gerald R. Ford, move into position. Across the Pacific, China's massive Type 003 Fujian carrier prepares its aircraft for launch. Beneath them, submarines move silently through the darkness. American Ohio-class submarines, British Vanguard-class, Russian Bory-class, Each one carries enough nuclear firepower to erase entire megacities. Each one holds the power to end human civilization. As the world falls apart and communication lines fail, leaders everywhere, presidents, generals, and top commanders, are forced to face one impossible question: do they surrender, or do they push the war even further? This is the moment when tactical nuclear weapons enter the battlefield. These aren't the giant city-destroying bombs most people imagine. They are smaller, battlefield nukes, built to wipe out military bases, tank columns, airfields, or entire naval fleets in seconds. But here's the real danger. Once one country uses a tactical nuke, everyone else follows. And the moment that line is crossed, the world enters a stage where there is no turning back. The United States might launch its W76-2 low-yield nuclear warheads, designed for quick, precise strikes. Russia could answer with Iskander-M missiles, or even worse, the Poseidon nuclear torpedo, a weapon so powerful it could create massive, radioactive tsunamis hundreds of feet high. China could fire DF-41 intercontinental ballistic missiles, each one carrying several nuclear warheads capable of hitting any place on Earth. Once these weapons begin to fly, the outcome becomes terrifyingly simple. A full nuclear Armageddon becomes unavoidable. Within 30 minutes of the first nuclear exchange, hundreds of warheads detonated across the globe. Entire cities vanish in blinding flashes. Shadows burn into walls, the air catches fire. Temperatures at ground zero reach 50 million degrees Celsius, hotter than the surface of the sun. Buildings evaporate. Everything living turns to ash. And then, the firestorms begin. Hurricanes of flame tear through cities, pulling oxygen from the air and feeding infernos that stretch for miles. In the following 2 hours, radioactive fallout spreads across continents. Winds carry lethal isotopes thousands of kilometers away. Survivors breathe poison. Rivers turn toxic. Crops die instantly. But this is only the beginning of the true nightmare. Scientists warn that a global nuclear exchange would send 150 million tons of black soot into the upper atmosphere, blocking sunlight and plunging the planet into a decades-long nuclear winter. Global temperatures fall by 15 degrees Celsius. Harvests fail worldwide. Ecosystems collapse. Billions would starve, not in days, not in weeks, but in the slowest and most painful collapse in human history. In space, anti-satellite weapons turn Earth's orbit into a cloud of deadly debris. The Kessler effect begins. Orbit becomes unusable for centuries. No satellites means no GPS, no communication, no global banking, no power grid timing, no aviation. The world goes blind. Humanity falls back to the 1800s overnight, but with billions of people and no systems to support them. Governments collapse, borders dissolve. Society breaks apart. Weeks after the last bombs fall, the survivors finally step outside, and the world they knew is gone. The skies are black, heavy with smoke and ash. Oceans and rivers are frozen or poisoned. The sun is reduced to a dim red disk, barely piercing the clouds of soot. Cities lie in ruins, standing like hollow skeletons of steel and concrete. Once thriving nations have turned into silent graveyards. Deep underground, in bunkers like Cheyenne Mountain in the US, or Yamantau in Russia, a few remnants of governments may try to restore order. But the truth is terrifyingly simple. The world they once ruled, with its power, cities, and life, is gone forever. Can World War III still be stopped? In theory, yes. There are still systems designed to prevent disaster. Secret communication lines exist between nations. Crisis hotlines can be used in emergencies. Nuclear treaties are meant to limit the number and power of weapons. The US and Russia maintain direct lines to avoid accidental launches. NATO and other militaries hold talks to prevent misunderstandings and reduce the risk of conflict. But these safeguards are weakening. Nuclear arsenals are growing in size and power. Cyber attacks are on the rise, creating new risks that can strike in seconds. Even more dangerous, artificial intelligence is now being used in nuclear decision-making. For the first time in history, a computer algorithm, not a human, could accidentally trigger global destruction. The risk of an accidental nuclear catastrophe is now higher than at any point in human history, so what should you do if World War III actually starts? First, stay calm. Panic can make even simple decisions dangerous. Your main goal is to find shelter immediately. Basements, underground bunkers, or any reinforced structure is safest from bombs, radiation, and falling debris. If you cannot find a bunker, seek a room in the center of a large building away from windows and exterior walls. Stock up on basic survival essentials, water, non-perishable food, first aid supplies, flashlights, and a battery-powered radio to stay updated. Avoid open areas as missiles, firestorms, and radioactive fallout make them deadly. Remember, nuclear radiation is invisible. Covering your mouth and nose with cloth or masks and sealing doors and windows can reduce exposure. Stay away from contaminated areas, and do not drink unsafe water. Limit unnecessary movement until authorities declare it safe. Keep communication lines open with family and neighbors. Help each other survive. Most importantly, stay informed and alert, but avoid spreading panic. Every decision counts in the first 24 hours. Survival is about preparation, calmness, and careful choices. Even in the worst-case scenario, staying alive may depend entirely on how smartly you act in those first hours. If World War III begins, it won't look anything like the wars you learned about in school. There will be no slow buildup, no long battles, no warning. The rise, the climax, and the extinction could happen in less than 1 hour. That's how fragile the world truly is. So if you woke up tomorrow and saw the sky burning, could you survive the first 24 hours? Because the real horror isn't what happens if World War III begins. It's that it could already be unfolding silently, without the world noticing. And the next great war might not even start with nukes. Something far more silent, far more invisible, could already be in motion. That's it for now, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more war updates.